love me. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me. Pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd be best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish, you'll find them over there, in port.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is sea-born. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Tier 4D?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Be back soon, Captain.
Any idea how to get in there without being noticed?
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
If you wore a Naut uniform and you were able to keep your mark hidden from them, they might let us in, unless we just offered them a drink. These sailors rarely refuse one.
I see where this is headed. If we drop a little soporific in their glasses, the way will be clear. I'll just need to find the proper ingredients, but it's doable.
Come on, show some grit, damn it! To the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs. Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're the relay. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties. The path is clear. We should notify the men. They need all the time they can get.
Tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age. Hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes. Quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Here you are, to cover your expenses.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender souls.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint? Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
If you had any idea who I am... Open up, imbeciles! I have a ship to catch!
That vulture of a tavern master was right. It is Constantine's voice. It's coming from the floor above.
It sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting company. Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.
It's not possible just now. It's blocked.
shouting like that, we should have got rid of him.
Don't be an idiot. It's obvious that he's a noble, a rich man. He needed to be taught a lesson, but it's better we grab some coin. With all those posters we posted, someone with deep pockets will show up sooner or later to liberate the rooster. He's making a great...
Oi! Where do you think you're going? You're in our territory.
I'm looking for my cousin, and it would seem that he is in this building.
That very well could be. We have had a guest since yesterday. A regular ladies' man in golden stitches.
That would fit the bill. I have no idea how he earned such a kind invitation, but...
Being born into silk sheets doesn't give him the right to insult his fellow man, or to show disrespect.
We know this sort only too well. Used to everyone doing whatever he says. But they're always a lot friendlier having learned their little lesson. Isn't that right, Chief?
That's right. But lessons have a price. So, if you want your drunkard back...
How much do you want?
With such bountiful attire, he must be the son of a wealthy family. He must be worth a fortune.
Here's a sum which should do. Take it.
Thank you, my prince. And, you'll see, I'm certain your cousin has learned a lesson for the future. No need to thank us. Here, this key will open the cell.
Locked.
Well, this has been monumentous, gentlemen, but I have more important things to attend to. An island to govern, treaties to sign, riches to expedite, and a demanding father to impress! Constantine, it's me! My dear cousin! Oh, my lucky star! Always there to pull me out of my fires.
Well, I do what I can. We're departing soon. Your father wasn't pleased by your absence this morning.
Have you ever seen him happy about anything when it comes to me? You know what he thinks of me.
He cares about you. I know that. He appointed you governor, didn't he?
He is ridding himself of a source of constant disappointment. Enough said. Today we set sail for adventure. If you only knew how these river scum treated me. Do me a courtesy, good cousin. Now that we stand boldly alongside the brave Kurt, let's give them their money's worth.
Sorry, Constantine, but we drove a hard bargain to get you out of their grasp. I don't intend to...
Bargain? Don't tell me that you paid them a ransom. Oh well. What is done is done. A mighty vessel awaits us. And a tremendous adventure.
Welcome! It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your liking? What might I help you with? Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tirfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it. And perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do. Could you tell me anything about Thélème?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet, and give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Thélème are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminous and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical, and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
What's your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Thélème, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
How is Thélème faring on Teofredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Matthias, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult, disgusting creatures. But I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Teofredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
Yes? Well, how can your old professor...
What will be your official title on Tier Or are you...
Come now, don't be ridiculous. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategies. I am therefore required to take note of all events. Chart also obtain as much knowledge as possible. Your help will be extremely valuable to me.
It's always a privilege to help. I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
Sir?
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. My cabin boy, Jonas, is back on ship. I have you to thank, I imagine.
You do. It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Permission to board the ship. We are ready.
Certainly. But keep in mind that we'll be at sea for several months. If you have any farewells to make or any final business to put into order, now is the time.
No, my house is in order. We are ready to embark.
Perfect. Follow me.
So eager to discover Tier My isle. My new city.
You'll need to arm yourself with patience. The voyage will be long. I've been told the trip lasts months.
And they say the place is full of gigantic creatures. As big as buildings.
That's right. I heard that the Nauts even brought one back in one of their ships.
I doubt that. The Nauts are strange, but they're not idiots.
The beast has awoken!
Those conniving, pista-stilling, bridge-building liars. The creature was supposed to be out for days. They'll pay for this.
What the hell manner of cargo are you transporting?
Help! We need ropes! We must contain it! Help!
Come now. Let's lend them a hand.
Watch out! Take a step back, sir!
Captain! Keep my cousin safe!
blood! How do you fare?
Fine, fine. It is dead.
Are you wounded?
I'm well. Your lessons have proven effective.
I've never seen a beast this size. It's quite extraordinary.
Cousin, what a fight. You were illustrious.
I'm not of the same mind. I had the feeling it was already weakened. I did nothing more than finish it off.
Your humility remains a constant. But believe me, that battle was absolutely epic.
Gentlemen! Your cousin's enthusiasm is most impressive.
This journey is his long-awaited chance to prove his worth. He has a demanding father.
More likely he's just happy to be free of this hornet's nest.
I definitely know I am. That's certain.
Stations, lads! Weigh anchor and ready hard to wear! Lively now, lively! Catch me a wind!
What a charming welcoming committee. Gentlemen, I am Constantine of House Orsay, your new governor. I have no idea what sort of ceremony you've prepared for my arrival, but I would gladly skip it, so... Indeed, these are rather peculiar customs. I see, it seems you were quite intent on serving me a drink. Hello? Cat got your tongue, gentlemen? Would it be those annoying beaks?
I am truly sorry. These doctors should have shown a greater measure of courtesy. Thank you, dear doctors. Move along. Don't trouble the Nords. Pay no attention to them. Instead, just drink. The long voyages at sea require the appropriate treatment as soon as we land. According to our scientists, without fortifiers, you might catch your death, and that would be quite regrettable.
I should have chosen death. This concoction is liquid torture.
I would think that they would have warned you on the ship.
Not in the slightest. And you must be Lady Morange, my predecessor.
You are correct.
There you are!
To your health.
Aha! You got your dose of bile too. Allow me to present to you Lady Morange, and to you, my dear lady, my most trusted cousin. Where is the captain?
He seems to be preoccupied with some sort of admiral.
Indeed. Then I will have to thank him later for this most marvelous voyage. Excellency, lead me to the palace, I beg you. And, whenever possible, go by way of all the intriguing alleyways. I am dying with impatience to discover this new city. My city!
Your Excellence! We must wait for our escort!
No need. Have no fear, for I am here to defend you, my lady.
I've been scullied.
How so?
My admiral laid me off.
My cousin was nonetheless delighted with your services. I hope there was no misunderstanding.
None, I'm sure of it. She just ordered me to give you any assistance you might need.
This request doesn't seem to please you.
Don't take offense, but it's not pleasant for a captain to abandon his ship. In any case, here I am at your service, for a while.